On this episode, I invite the interns. Hey everybody, this is Gary VaynerChuck, and this is episode 130 of the Ask Gary V Show. It's a gloomy Tuesday here in New York City. Like, we've had pretty good weather this summer. Like, I was caught off guard when I left my building. It was like pouring. I didn't even look at the weather. I've been taking it for granted. I was reminded this is not San Diego this morning, so no taking for granted. I will look at my weather app tomorrow morning. Matt is coming with my phone. That excites me. Really excited to be back on the show. This is a very special episode. This is the intern episode. 3 interns are going to sit with me today who have spent their summer at VaynerMedia and ask me a question. I'm excited about that. India is here. Sid, the intern, is here as well. Sid, you should actually ask a question. Let's do 4. You're in now. There we go. So 4 interns will ask me a question. What else is going on? I'm starting to get serious about my Snapchat game. I tested a little bit yesterday. I thought that was pretty good. I see some head shaking, so that's good. I'm excited about what I was doing there, which will be scary because I think people will now get a real sense of how much traveling I actually do if I document through there, so it excites me. What else? The Wine Deals Instagram account has been very much in right hook zone. Emily, thank you for following the account. Emily, you know what? You may be also able to ask a question. I do need 5 questions, so we might as well just do that. Emily is not an intern, but she'll explain who she is when she gets on the show. So I don't even, like, India, like, what are you just gonna hang and just like watch? What are you like, you're just gonna watch?
A little day off.
All right, interns, then I'm not even gonna do this with you, India. All right, interns, let's get into the show. Cool, who wants to come up first?
How about,
I'm in.
Cool.
Gotta kick off with the Keller Jet fan. Come on.
Yes, absolutely, I'm excited. You ready for the season? You
I think
concerned
we'll
about all
be
the
okay.
injuries?
I'm a little worried.
Yeah, I'm not happy.
Yeah,
Tell the
you can't be
Vayner Nation who
optimistic.
you are.
What's up, Vayner Nation? I'm Russell. I am a diehard Jet fan, much like Gary. I go to USC. What else about me? This is good.
That's what, that's what you got.
You know?
Phenomenal work.
Live it up.
Listen, anything you can do to show how great I am on camera is always good. So way to kiss up to the boss. All right. So good summer.
Yeah, great summer.
This is it? This is the last week?
Yeah.
Are you-
We're done. It's crazy.
When are you back to
It's a blur.
school?
I go back on Saturday.
Excited?
So we're back. Oh, pumped.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a big year. That football team is actually gonna be good. So,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm actually optimistic.
Are you?
Yeah, I need to watch them play a couple preseason games. There's a couple key things I'm looking for on the offensive line and at the linebacker position, but I think I could be optimistic. We'll see. All right.
Oh, Gino. But anyway,
Yeah,
I
right,
guess
football-
we're diving
football
into the question. Has there ever been a point for you where you've kind of been overwhelmed with options for where you wanted to go kind of in your career and life, and what was the thought process and the decision-making process you went through when you ultimately made
Made a
your
call.
decision?
I think it's happened more, unlike what I think you're going with your question. As you're younger, you may be in school, there's a lot of options. You know, to me, I was set at your age, right? I barely went to college. I was like, I that badly wanted to go into the family business and do my thing. Where I started having these things happen really is more of like the last 5 to 7 year phenomenon where I'm crippled by business options. Do I want to be a venture capitalist? Do I want to start companies? Do I want to do more e-com? Do I want to do TV shows? Like, I've had a lot of options in the last 5 to 7 years, and I think for me, you know, what I like to do is run on 2 parallel paths. So here's my piece of advice. 1, I'm constantly debating them. Right? I mean, you just have to. You're a human being. You're thinking about your options. But I'm always doing something. I think the thing that bothers me is that people are crippled by their options and then actually aren't doing anything in parallel. They're lollygagging while they decide. And to me, whatever you're deciding, given that these should all be loaded questions, whatever's in your option point, you need to be doing. Right? You need to be executing. So if there's 3 to 4 tangible things going on in your mind, you need to make sure your internships, your free time, whatever you can do to let you taste them and get context around them is what really matters. Go ahead.
Sweet.
That's it? Good. All right.
Awesome.
I thought there was going to be a follow-up.
In terms of that, I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
It's about execution, right? Mm-hmm. Like, to me, what I was doing was I've showed up on TV a lot. I did angel investing. I ran VaynerMedia. Like, I was doing all these things. I think people are confused that you could be doing a lot of things at once if you're able to stretch that rubber band.
But how much of it would you say is like following your passion versus kind of like trying new things and experimenting and seeing if
I would never try anything that I'm not excited about. Like, to me, when I hear you say following your passion, literally what I heard is, how much is it about oxygen? Like, to me, that's the only thing. Like, everything I just mentioned are all things that I'd want to do. Like, you know how many people have asked me to go into politics?
I vote for you.
Right. But I don't want to do that. And so I've never pondered that, right? And so, to me, teaching's interesting. I think I'm a modern teacher. I like it. I love this. But I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it in the way that USC actually wants me to teach a course. The guy that I came and did that course for, he's like, look, we'll set it all up for you. You can be a professor. And there was a part of me like, my mom would really get a kick out of that. But other than that, I'm like, I don't want to do that. And so all of it has to do with passion, but you can have passion about a lot of different things. So to me, if you're contemplating anything that's practical or money-based, get the hell out. Like, I can go into finance and make more money. That's like, that. I think that is a terrible idea.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thanks, man.
Real pleasure. Next. Hey.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Tell the Vayner Nation who you are.
Hi, I'm Sabina. I'm the Core and Insights intern, and I'm also a co-founder of Linnet.
I love the plug. Yeah. D-Rock, give her a little pop-up. All right. Oh, you came prepared. Listen, I love the hustle. I promise you they're going to love the hustle. All right.
Okay, so my question is, hypothetically speaking,
yes,
you meet a co-founder of a startup. What can that person do
this hypothetical
to
person.
convince you to meet their team for 5 minutes? A minute.
Well, that I'd be more than happy to do for you. And in general, it's just a little bit of serendipity. I get asked all the time, I get pounded all the time, like living my life, like going to school functions with my wife or parties or just living life right now. I am fully in I get pitched mode, right? Which is, for me, super flattering. I'm humbled that I've hit a status where that's what people want from me. And so my money or my time or attention or points of view, all of it is still humbling and interesting. So, for you, that's a done deal, the schedule of that. For everybody else who's watching, they've all tried. There's people who are watching right now who've emailed me 90 times, who've hit me up on social media 90 times, and who will never get that at bat. It's literally just the serendipity of it all. There's other people on their first email or their first tweet or their first, thing, get that at bat. I have so much volume that I have no real way to truly have a system. My VaynerRC has a structure where you can definitely go through that process and it can eventually get to me, but you've got to go through the Phils and the Seans and the Kevins and the Brians and the Chloes. And so, that's it. That's the answer. I think one of the really smart strategic ways, hypothetically, is to actually get an internship at VaynerMedia. Put in good work. Finagle your way into the Ask Gary V show, where on the spot in front of the Vayner Nation you can ask the question, which then compels me to actually do it. That would be something that I would consider.
That sounds like a very smart person.
Good
I
plan.
think you should meet them. I'm just saying.
Cool. Hit up Matt. Let's do it.
Okay. Hi,
Awesome.
Dad.
Oh, Dad gets it. I love it. Sid, my intern, my guy. Sid, they know you a little bit, but give them the official.
Hi, Vayner Nation. I am Sid. I've been working with Team Gary for the last 10 months. I'm a graduate student at Babson, and my question is a little bit around you, because like how in-depth I've seen you working, and I've seen you go all in when you're like doing something, but then we also as a team have seen that you step back and see things in a wider perspective, and then you change direction, come up with creative ideas. So how do you decide when it's like moment to just step back and reconsider?
That's an interesting question. It's funny. I always say to candidates when I meet with them, I'm meeting with a lot of senior people who are going to run a lot of departments here at Vayner in the future, and I say, look, you know me in the outside and you think that I'm gonna micromanage a ton. What's weird is I'm very the other way. Like I actually have a lot of, it's, I almost want to ask, I almost weirdly want to reverse this to the Ask Sid show, because I'm curious how you quantify it from, to me, this is a very hard answer for me, because it's just innate, right? Like it's just how I don't even know. Meaning, yeah, I mean, I feel when I have to go deep. I feel like when I have to go wide, I'm reacting to what feels intuitive to me of the moment. I'm quantifying the people that are involved in the situation, the market. It's kind of like a feeling to understand what to do at that moment. What I think happens is when I taste it. I use the analogy of like blood in the water, shark mentality, right? When I taste it, then I want to go all in, right? Like then I'm like, let's go, right? And so, but I don't know how to quantify what it takes for me to taste it. I feel like it's a combination of me and my partner in crime, team or individual, is now at a crescendo to like be able to really attack it, and I can like really go in, and there's like a cadence between the two of us that allows us to deliver on it. Sid, I think that's a shit answer, and I apologize. There's some answers that are just tough to, like it's just how do you describe the feeling? But I do believe this is the essence of why I always believe that entrepreneurship and being a businessman or woman is a talent. This question is the same question of like, how do you know when to hit the high note? Like, when do you know it's game time and you've got to shoot and stop passing the ball? Like, when do you know like how to, like being a great surgeon, like where do you like it's just the feel and the rhythm of the game. And as a business person, I've said this, Emily, you might have heard this, like, and some of you guys might have heard this. I've been saying to a couple people here and there that the company feels more manageable to me. Like right now, I feel more in control of 4 offices and 550 people than I did when we were at 200. It's just, it's the rhythm of it. And so that's why I know it's a talent. There's nothing I was taught. There's no blueprint. It's just being one with the business. Sounds so weird, but it's what it is. It's like, I understand it. And you know what's funny? I don't think it's right or wrong. I think what you're observing, and I know you've been very observant, which is why it was a fun question to hear from you, it's right for me. Do you know what I mean? It's not the right thing that you need to go and deploy against you. It's not right for your startup. It's what's right for me. And the one thing I do love about myself, and this is just flat out, I don't let nobody has any equity, from my parents to my brother to my most trusted employees. Nobody has impact or can make me waver or dents that belief in me and it and that thing. And that unwavering has brought me enormous amounts of value. It's just the strongest thing in my world. Like me and the business at hand, in harmony without allowing any other voice to even have a peep in that direction has been very, very important to me. Cool. All right, let's keep going. This is a good episode. The Interns. Bringing it.
Hey Gary.
How are you, my man?
Good to
I
see
like
you.
your chest hair.
Thank you.
Weirdly attracted to it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no
Appreciate
worries. Tell the
Hi, Vayner Nation. My name is Michael. I'm going to be a senior at the University of Michigan. I am a DJ and a huge dance music enthusiast.
Love it.
So for the last intern question, I want to get a little deeper with you.
Okay.
So I want to ask.
Was that a dig at Sid?
No.
I just wanted to make sure. Because he went pretty deep.
No, it was good.
Okay.
We're going to go on like a different level though.
Let's go.
Okay.
Love it.
So I want to know how you define love and what that means to you, and how that personal definition affects your relationships.
That's a very good question. This one's actually very easy for me. It's something that I got to in my mind. Love is very easy for me. Love to me is actually shifting your brain or your feelings into a place where you value the other person more than yourself. Like the people that I love, I truly, in general, I'm a pretty empathetic, like really care about the other person's point of view and how do I bring value. But that whole 51-49 thing that I talk about from a business standpoint, which a lot of you know what I'm referring to, but people are watching for the first time or others that don't know, it's, hey, give 51% of the value in the relationship, you'll always win. When it comes to the people that I love, I'm very comfortable in being at 100-0. When I make that shift, when I fell in love with Lizzie, to my kids, my parents, my siblings, Brandon, my best friend who runs Wine Library, those core couple of people that I would say I love, I'm very comfortable in providing the entire value in the relationship. That it's crazy. The more I love you, and this has actually been something that I've struggled with in my life, but it is absolutely how I define love. The more I love you down the chain is the more that is the level of which I want less from you. So like the people I love the most, I literally don't want anything from. I want to provide so much disproportionate value. I want to never make myself a burden or something they think they need to deliver on. And I want to be the first person they call and the person that they most rely on and trust in the world. And as my love goes down, that goes down to just maybe even. That's how I define it.
I like it.
Cool, man.
I like it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for your summer. Em.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm well.
It's so rainy. You've got a lot of energy though.
Whoa. Let me see your shoe. Look at this.
Oh.
This is what we do on the show.
Yeah.
This is how we do it.
It's rainy,
Nice.
and so I like a pop of color. All right, here we go. So,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, a little side by side style issue. Yeah.
Look, we matched today a little bit.
Yeah. I've always got an element. Yeah.
Tell the Vayner Nation.
Hi, I'm Emily. I work on the VaynerMedia communications team. I am very excited to be there. It's some interesting stuff that we're doing. And I led the internship program this summer. So all of these characters that are in here somehow had to interact with me to get in the door. It's been amazing. I think it's awesome this year that we had interns in different departments. So not just all social media interns. We had people in studio doing copywriting, doing interesting things like Team Gary. So it's been an awesome experience.
Cool.
Cool. So my question is kind of around career growth.
Yes.
And how you map that.
Yes.
I heard you say recently that at your 30th birthday you freaked out and started WineLibraryTV.
I did.
And I thought that was an interesting thing to map back. Was that the start of a hockey stick that you kind of went on? I know you talk about turning 40 and how that's very exciting. How do you?
Away.
Yeah.
Exciting. A la, I might just disappear on the
I'm excited, yeah. How do you see sort of like milestones like that, like an age or something like that, and sort of like career and comparing yourself, so sort of like where you should be? Or
I don't know if I'll ever have anything like 30, because 30 was a real kind of interesting moment for me, because I really, really felt for the first time in my life on my 30th birthday that I would not buy the New York Jets, or that might be, and I think, look, this is a good time to talk about it if it's confusing to anybody. I'd be very okay if I don't buy the New York Jets. I want to buy the New York Jets, but more importantly, I want the process of buying the New York Jets, and what hit me was my behavior wasn't acting towards a process of buying the New York Jets, that I was starting to become complacent, which was very weird for me, and it scared me a little bit. Like, I'd made it, right? And by everybody else's definition, and I allowed, in a world where I very much, we talked about it in Sid's question, live in my little world. Mm-hmm. For some reason, obviously I got married at the day before my 29th birthday, so Lizzie was new in my life. Like, whatever had happened in those 2 or 3 or 4 years from 26 to 30, it was the most complacent version of myself. I mean, I'm dramatically more of a hustler today than I was at 26, which is tough because I have children and a marriage, and I'm like, damn, I mean, this would have been I would much rather have worked it out, which is why I push that objective so much in people's 20s. That's when you don't go for the cash. That's when you sleep on the floor, mm-hmm. right? Like with 19 people in like this room. Like Jerome Jarre slept at VaynerMedia. Right? Like he hustled. Yeah. Now he makes millions of dollars being Jerome Jarre. He freaking slept here. I know what it takes. So anyway, I don't know why I'm going left field. Birthdays are interesting. You've had some big birthdays recently. Birthdays are interesting for me I'm definitely freaking out about my 40th birthday. Like, because what's happening in my brain right now is like, ooh, 40 to 50 is the foundational decade of like, you know, like if I don't really crush that decade, and there's a part of me that laughs at me because then I'm like, then I'm gonna come to 50 and be like, all right, 50 to 60 is clear, like this is where you really go to moguls. Like I know I'm self-aware enough to know that's how I'm driven. I have this equal push to like massive ambition and equal understanding of myself, knowing that the goals that, you know, it's funny, I can't wait to be a public figure in my 60s, 70s, and 80s and talk about, there's a weird part of me, and it's an emerging weird part, that says, wow, I can make a bigger impact on the world if I don't buy the jets, because I could talk about, you know, the satisfaction that I have in that I gave it my all, and I, you know, there's serendipity and there's other variables, or that, you know, this, you know, I'm a weird dude, this tragic event happened and I adjusted my priorities, or this incredible thing happened, let's look on the bright side, and I, you know, my son was a whiz kid violinist and I decided to deploy against that, you know. So I think that the way I think about it is, for me, birthdays are weird. I definitely milestone birthdays. 30 and 40 is ripping me right now, and like 30 did, and so 50 will, and so and I don't know if I'm forcing that narrative or not, but they're real. But I think that they definitely make me think about things and readjust. Like, I'm sure it's a cliche thing that I'm sure happens to everybody, but I didn't have them at 18 or 21 or 25. It started at 30 for me, and probably speaks to what I'm ambitious about. I wasn't as much worried about my childhood or things of that nature. My career has been the beacon of my life outside of my family, and that's what I don't associate myself with, you know, like being a party dude or like getting the most out of my 20s. It was more career oriented, and so I think it's different for everybody, and I think, you know, it also speaks to, you know, these big birthdays are also a tremendous and important time to reflect around family and health. Obviously, I took care of my health. I've been spending a disproportionate amount of time on my family hacking. As happy as I am with the extremism of weekends and vacation time, I'm starting to bubble up some other thoughts. And so I think, you know, I think it's fun being a human. Like, it's fun to hang out with the interns here who are like starting to go to that next chapter where like the game they've played their entire lives of school infrastructure is going to go away, and they go into a different game. And that's interesting to watch, and it's interesting that my parents are interesting to watch to me. You know, there was something I read that said, you know, when you save money your whole life, you don't know how to spend it. So I'm watching my parents struggle to relax and enjoy this next chapter of their lives, and so like I'm very observant as a business person around psychology, but also as like a human. I'm interested in how people roll, and I think the best thing I can say is, you know, go with what feels right, attach yourself to a couple principles that matter the most, and let the cards play out as they will.
Thanks.
Cool. It's a deep episode, you know. I didn't know the intern episode was gonna get so deep. I guess that's it. Good. Nice and kind of tight. I mean, the answers were pretty long. Here you go.
Thanks.
Hope you enjoyed that show. I really did. I really enjoyed it. It was weird not to interact with you a whole bunch, India. I felt kind of sad. Yeah, I'm a little sad myself. But don't worry. Now that the golden era has ended, we'll get back to like engaging on 131. Question of the day. Tell me a story about your most impactful birthday. You know, tell me about your year that made you think, or you did something. This is a good opportunity for the community to get to know each other more. Obviously, there was a post I posted on Facebook over the weekend that allowed you guys to kind of like talk about yourselves and biz dev, and boy, did you take me up on it. And it was great to see the community interact with each other. I think for Facebook and YouTube comments, lurkers, this would be a tremendous time to come out and tell us a story about you, the birthday, the signature birthday so far in your life, and a little story around it. You keep asking questions, I'll keep answering them. Why don't you guys come over here next to me, and I'll do the intro with you guys in it. Actually, you know what? Why don't you guys stand? And so, here, like make the shot like of them, yeah. and then go up to them. It'll be funny.
Really? All right, director.
It's good, right? I'm a director now.